Dan Mellis with Nexa Mortgage. He's out of Renton. I'm up here in Clearview. My office is in Woodinville. Anyway, we are getting ready to, well, we are live.
Yes, we are.
Well,
We
we're
are
gonna talk about
live.
things real estate. The market is cooling down a little bit, but it is definitely still a very strong seller's market in most places. But Snohomish County is seeing a bit of a slip. So King County is maintaining a little bit stronger market. But we're going to talk about, Dan, what do you want to talk about? Should we talk about, is it effective to still set an offer review date in King and Snohomish counties?
Let's do that. This is some of the most fascinating stats I've seen ever as far as the real estate market is concerned.
So these are new stats. I asked myself the question this morning. I'm like, how can I tell? Actually, a couple of weeks ago when I set up these searches, I asked myself a couple of weeks ago, how can I tell if it's still a good time, if it still benefits the seller to set an offer review date as opposed to reviewing offers upon receipt? And so I pulled the data for both Snohomish and King counties.
Do you want to go to King first or Snohomish?
Oh yeah, you put it up because mine's going to be backwards.
Which one, King or Snohomish?
Let's do King first.
All right, there you go.
Hi guys, thanks for joining. All right, so Dan, you have it on the screen. Sorry, you guys on TikTok, you can't see it. We're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube too, I believe. So they can see it, but you guys can't. So you're gonna have to just listen. So bottom line is, of the people that set offer review dates in King County, there were 239 folks that went on the market between June 10th and June 15th. So just those 5 days, right? There's 6 days is what I'm talking about here. 239 set offer review dates. Now they varied from 5 days to 10, 11 days out. But then I took a look at that cart. I put those all in a cart. So we saved all those listings to see how they performed. Okay. So 239 listings on the market with offer review dates in King County, June 10th to June 15th. We had 56% of them go off the market within the first 7 days on the market. Okay. Now let's talk about how many made their offer review date. 47% went under contract within their offer actually on their offer review date or within 1 day of their offer review date going forward. Because sometimes when we review offers, it takes us 24 hours to actually come to mutual acceptance and get the transaction turned in. So I said, mutual offer review date +1. So and that was 47%. So that's a pretty good number, better than I would have anticipated. Stripes on my eyes for some reason. I don't know what's happening here. I don't like that. I got these weird stripes on my eyes, under my eyes. Let's see if I can get rid of them. I'm not doing a very good job. Okay. All right. So in addition to the 47%, guys, 8% got early offers. So those for sure went over asking price more than likely. So we have 8 plus the 47%. So we actually have that actually totals the nearly the 56%, right? It's actually 45%. Either made their offer review date or got an early offer. So that's pretty incredible. Good numbers for King County. I would say, yes, keep setting offer review dates if you are priced well and you are properly prepared for the market and the other people in your category. So your price range, your home style, age group, are they setting offer review dates with success? And if they are, then yes, it's in your best interest to do that. We know for sure that at least 8% of them got probably far over asking price. So it's definitely worthwhile in King County. So we talked about 56% got under a contract within the first 7 days of the ones that set offer review dates. So how about the ones that didn't set offer review dates? How many of those went off the market in the first 7 days? 39%. So I don't know, what's the deal? What's the difference here? So are we looking at the advantage of setting an offer review date, just the idea that you're setting an offer review date, or are those homes more well prepared for market and priced better? So, but we definitely see a difference there. So I thought that was really interesting. of the ones that reviewed offers upon receipt, we now have 56% of those still on the market now. So that's on June 27th, right? All right, I got to take care of my dog. Sorry. That's not going to stop. We are bowl surfing. Sorry, Dan. You're going to have to carry the show for a second. Yeah, I didn't feed the little buddy in the last hour, so he's throwing a fitsy witsy. I gotta take care of my buddy, or he's not gonna stop. He'll go from banging one bowl to another. I have experience with this. Okay. There you go, Mr. Fat Tuesday. Okay. Him, baby, all better. All right. Sorry. Oh my God, Dan. Oh no, I think I knocked something over my refrigerator. Oh, the things that happen when you're live. Okay.
It only happens when you go live. That's for sure.
Well, no, that's actually not true.
That's not true. Okay.
My life often goes like that. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, you're trying to do too many things, right? Okay, so I thought it was interesting. So 56% of those, that group that was listed between June 10th and June 15th that did not set offer review dates, 56% of those are still on the market. Now, 39% did go off the market within the first 7 days. That's not a bad number, but when you compare that to the group that set offer review dates, I'm supposed to have, it's not supposed to be allowing calls through. When you look at the group that set offer review dates, we had 56% go under contract within the first 7 days versus 39%. That just tells me, hey, keep doing it. It looks good. And the percent that are still active on the market, you guys, only 29%. Versus 56%. So King County, yep. Onwards and upwards with the offer review dates, providing that your house fits in the category of those that are setting offer review dates. I love it.
But let's tie that in real quick, because if people can remember, if you're still on the market after that first 7 days,
yeah,
you're getting a hit lower. Your price is probably your average price is going to come in lower.
Yep. The first, you're going to get, so I know people have a hard time understanding that concept, Dan, but the first 7 days is when you actually get the most price per square foot. I remember pulling that data about a year ago and just being flabbergasted that my theory, my hypothesis bore out when I actually pulled the data. And so the homes that sold the first 7 days on the market actually got more per square foot than the homes that sold 8 to 14 days on the market. And those subsequently got more per square foot than those that sold 15 to 30 days on the market and on down the line. So, and it wound up being like a 12% difference between the 0 to 7 day data and maybe the 30 to 90 day data. I think it was about 12% disparity there. And we have pulled that twice. I pulled it for the first, I think it was March through October of last year. And then I think I pulled it from October through March of this year. So fascinating data, goes in a straight line, correlates perfectly.
Well, and 12% on an $800,000 or $900,000 house is big money. Money.
The median house price in King County, or the average, is 1.2 something million. Oof, and so, you guys, 5% is huge. And you really do, if you're listing your house and you want to set an offer review date, just get it ready right? Get it ready properly. If you need a guide on how to do that, I've got Kat's successful formula for preparing your home for market. And if you follow that, you are going to have good results, provided you don't have an inherent challenge, right? So you can't have power lines. You can, but then you just have to account for that in price. So you still get prepared for market properly, but you have to account for the inherent challenge by adjusting your price.
Right. And if we go over and touch on Snohomish County here real quick.
Yeah.
Let's take a look at how those numbers look. And again, they're not identical, but they're awfully close. They're close.
Snohomish is a little softer right now. Right. So for whatever reason, I'm not sure what that is, because King County has had more appreciation from January to June. Snohomish is a little bit less. Interest rates should be impacting the counties about the same. For some reason, Snohomish has slowed down a little bit more, and it's been consistently slower for the last couple of months. So what we've got is, there were 84 listings that were listed June 10th to June 15th that set offer review dates. And of those, 43% went under contract within the first 7 days. Now, we're interested in how many went into contract within the first 7 days, but we're also interested in how many actually made their offer review date and how many early offers there were. So let's talk about that. So we had 8% received early offers. So that's a good number. That's consistent with King County. And then we had pending within 1 day, so 1 day plus, or the offer review date plus 24 hours, we had 32% go under contract. So altogether, that's about 40%, which is good. So, and actually the total pending within the first 7 days is 43%. So now let's look at those that did not set an offer review date in Snohomish County, listed June 10th to June 15th. There were 95 of those sellers, okay, that opted to not set offer review dates. 34% of those homes went under contract within the first 7 days. Now, there's no offer review date, so quite a few of those got snapped up within the first 1 to 3 days. That's how that works. You don't set an offer review date. You do go off the market much quicker if you're going to. There's a lot less chance of getting multiple offers and over asking price. So 34% versus 43% of those that set offer review dates. So I just want to make that distinction. So there was actually 9% more went under contract. 9% more went under contract within 7 days in Snohomish County if you set an offer review date within the first 7 days. So, and how many are still actively on the market? Let's talk about that. So again, this is those homes that were listed in Snohomish County between June 10th and June 15th. So of those ones that did not set an offer review date, 54% of those sellers are still on the market. Of the ones that did set an offer review date, 40% of those are still on the market. So I really like the odds when you set an offer review date. I don't know if it creates a little bit of urgency. You know, they're the new listings coming on the market, but so are the other ones. Or it makes them seem like they might be more special because they've set an offer review date. But regardless, the offer review dates do seem to be working. They are beneficial. So I would say carry on. So in Snohomish County, we saw, is that right? I think that's right. 60% missed or removed their offer review date. Oh, is that right? I don't know. Let me look here. Doing this live. Sorry, guys. Yeah, I have 60% missed. I think that's about right. So we had how many? 34 still active.
Well, you got, if you have 40.
I don't know if that's right. It doesn't sound right to me, so disregard that.
Okay.
Anyway,
well, you know, that's a great segue though to get over to the stats by cat if you want to.
Well, and I think the point of that exercise was to let people know that that setting an offer review date is still beneficial if you have not necessarily just the shiny object, but you've done all the things to get ready for market. And that was the whole point of me doing that exercise.
Well, I think the reason I mentioned going over to stats by cat is because you can see that the market has softened a little bit, whether it's Snohomish or King.
That's right.
And these concepts that you're talking about work whether the market is strong or whether it's softened a bit. I mean, they stand on their own. The validity of what you're talking about as far as setting an offer review date, doing your steps, the 12 steps to selling your home, doing them properly. They work whether it's a good market, a great market, or if the market's softening just a little bit.
Just like it is now, right?
Just like it is now. That's right.
You're not going to see as many multiple offers. You're not going to see as many offers on the offer review dates. You're still going to see some multiple offers. And, some sellers are going to get lucky to get one offer on their offer review date. The last couple of listings I had 2 offers on my offer review date in both cases. And they were a good price point. So you would have expected a few more offers. So we just have that market that's softening a little bit. There's not as many buyers that are writing offers. I feel like there's a lot of buyers touring. There's not as many writing offers as we had in the spring. So,
right.
And that could be because of interest rates. It's hard to say. But anyway, so King County is up to 1.2 months supply of inventory.
Well, let's hang on here. Let me throw King County up there.
You got to get that up there.
I got to put it up there. That's right.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, no
Okay.
problem with that.
So we got 1,836 listings on the market currently right now. That number is going up every week. 53% of sellers in King County set offer review dates. 45% of sellers got under contract within 7 days on the market if they listed their home between June 9th and June 15th. 55, is that right? Yeah, that is. 55% of sellers got under contract within the first 14 days on the market if they listed their home between, what was it? May 26th and June 8th. May 26th and June 8th. So, King County numbers continuing to soften slightly. That 2-week data is staying up. It's staying pretty high, but that used to be in the 60s and 70s and is now down into the mid 50s.
Right.
So,
boy, that is something though. Even if you look down, average sales price is up 15% in King County year over year. That's a strong number considering what we did last year.
It is a strong number. Yeah. And so and for Snohomish, I believe it's 10. And that's the case across a lot of the counties. They're not all quite that high, but we do have solid year over year appreciation in this area.
Let me cheat just a little bit and go over to the Snohomish County stats by that. Yes, you are correct. 10%. There we go.
See, funny how that works. I know that's
funny how that works.
So yeah, and month supply of inventory in Snohomish County is up to 1.2 as well.
Yeah.
So, and they keep creeping up. So they really held a tight line all through the spring. They were 0.5, 0.6 for much of the spring. Month supply of inventory, really very, very demanding market, hard competitive market for buyers in the spring. And that has softened significantly. Yeah. So we got 735 listings currently on the market in Snohomish County.
Is that up a little bit from last week?
Yeah, you know what? That number goes up every week, unless it's maybe like a holiday week. But right now, that number is just going up every week.
Right.
And so 43% of sellers in Snohomish County set offer review dates. 38% of sellers got under contract within the first 7 days on the market if they listed their home between June 9th and June 15th. 53% of sellers got under contract within the first 14 days on the market if they listed their home between May 26th and June 8th. So decent sellers market still in Snohomish County. It's just that everyone has to be aware that it's slowing down a little bit. It's getting a little bit more buyer friendly. I would anticipate going forward into July that trend will continue unless we see interest rates come down. So, should we do Pierce?
Let's do Pierce.
You know, these Hollywood lights, I don't know if you guys can see. Look at this. I'm going to swing you around. Look at these things. I don't know if you can't tell maybe how bright they are. Those things are hot. Using them to illuminate myself. Oh my gosh. Making me break a sweat. I'm inside because it's so cold outside in June. All right, here we go. Pierce County, 1.4 months supply of inventory. 1,213 listings currently on the market. 28% of sellers opted to set offer review dates in Pierce County. And 28% of sellers got under contract within the first 7 days on the market if they listed their home between June 9th and June 15th. 44% of sellers in Pierce County got under contract within the first 14 days on the market if they listed their home between May 26th and June 8th. So Pierce County, that second week still looks pretty strong. The first week has been, wavering, coming back a little bit. Their market has not been as strong as ours the entire year so far. It's been running a little bit softer.
Well, you can kind of see that too in the average sales price year over year.
Yeah,
it's
what's the average? What do I have the average sales price? Let's see. It's up 10? Well, yeah, it's
6%.
6%.
So
they have a decent year over year. It's just not as good as the Snohomish and King County.
That's right. Well, there's nothing wrong with a 6%
Yeah,
increase.
listen, I'll take 6% any year.
Yeah.
Positive is good.
That's right. Well, let's take a look at. You want to look at the Skagit next, or Kitsap, or Mason?
Mason's always next, Dan.
Let's go to Mason.
Same order every week. Hi guys. Hi Steve. Hi Merton. Hi Johnny. Hi Patsy. All right. Mason County is up to 2.1 months supply of inventory, and that is going up, you guys. So their market is very sporadic. Sometimes they sell a few extra homes one week, and it throws their data because it's a smaller data pool. We've got 149 listings currently on the market in Mason County. 23% of sellers in Mason County opted to set offer review dates this past week. 13% of sellers got under contract within the first 7 days on the market if they listed their home between June 9th and June 15th. And 25% of sellers in Mason County got under contract within the first 14 days on the market if they listed their home between May 26th and June 8th. So Mason County, I was thinking we were going to see a bit of a, an increase, although, yeah, the numbers are kind of low for this week. But I was hoping, when we get into summer, we'd start to see a little bit more better numbers, some stronger numbers. We did, I think a week or two ago, saw Mason come up quite a bit. I know they've, softened back down again. So, all right, Mason.
You can do it, Mason. I believe in you, Mason County.
Come on, Mason.
You can do it.
You got this, Mason. Come on, Grapeview, Belfair. Come on. Let's get those numbers up. People move to Belfair and Mason and Grapeview. Anyway, I don't think we're influencing where people want to buy, but I don't know. I do love Mason County. I have clients there.
We've got a lot of pull.
It's gorgeous.
Yes.
Okay.
Beautiful area.
Skagit County. Dan, you want to do Skagit?
Let's do Skagit County because that looks strong, much stronger.
1.4 months supply of inventory in Skagit County, and Skagit County is the only county that doesn't seem to be softening, and I can't figure that out. So we have, let's see, we've got 215 listings currently on the market in Skagit County. 25% of sellers in Skagit County decided to set offer review dates this past week.
Those are the smart sellers, as we just
showed. Those are the smart sellers this week in Skagit County, because 46%? 46% of sellers in Skagit County went under contract within the first 7 days on the market if they listed their home between June 9th and June 15th. And that's the most recent data, guys. They've got almost half their sellers getting under contract in that first 7 days. And that beats out Snohomish and King. Just saying.
Oh.
It does. Skagit County all the way.
The gold medal.
It's more affordable up there. You can get a lot of views for, $1 million, right around $1 million. You really get a great view property. Just saying. Hi, thanks for the hearts, you guys. Oh, Amanda. Hi, Amanda. I didn't even see you there. Hi. Thank you for the hearts. I'm like, I start to see all these hearts, but I should know it's you. Dan says hi.
Hello, Amanda.
She got excited when we started talking about Skagit. No. Okay, should we do Kitsap really quick?
Let's go to Kitsap.
You think Kitsap wants to know what the heck's happening over there?
Yes, I think they do.
Kitsap's doing pretty well.
Hanging in there.
My daughter's a realtor
strong
over there, and she's not making all of her offer review dates for her sellers, but she's hitting most of them. So doing really, really well over there. Kitsap County, that's not right. Kitsap County, I think it's 1.2 months supply of inventory. I made a mistake in my transcribing. Kitsap County, 1.2 months supply of inventory is where they're at. And you guys, that's consistent. That's been very consistent over the past 30 to 60 days. So they actually do have a pretty strong market going over there. My daughter witnesses it all the time. All right, let's see. What do we got? We got 311 listings on the market over there.
Wow.
42% of sellers in Kitsap County set offer review dates. So, the sellers are feeling pretty confident over there. That's almost the same as Snohomish County. But we only had 32% of sellers get under contract within the first 7 days on the market if they listed their home between June 9th and June 15th. So the first 7 days is getting weaker over there too, just like other areas. And my daughter experienced that this last week. She missed her offer review date on one of her listings. Cute little listing in Port Orchard, I might say. Listed in the low fours.
Wow, nice.
Really nice coat of paint on the outside. Lots of updates. It's actually a gorgeous little listing. Port Orchard, I think. Yeah. Hi, Amanda. Oh, hi, Videy. Hi, guys. Love my people. So Kitsap County, 44% of sellers got under contract within the first 14 days on the market if they listed their home between May 26th and June 8th. And that's a pretty good number for the second week for Kitsap County. So my daughter's holding out hopes that her Port Orchard listing will get under contract the second 7 days in the second week on the market. So, but really cute starter home. I think she's got listed 4 1/4, 425, 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath. Nice little lot, flat lot, attached garage. I think it's 1 car attached garage. Cute, really cute, super cute.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's what I've got for stats. But I think overall, Dan, the takeaway is that, you know, we've got a softening market as we go into summer. And this is a very typical real estate cycle. So don't anybody get up in arms. This is not the sky is falling. This is literally the market's just softening due to an increase in inventory. And by the way, the inventory that we have right now is still at record lows. Last year was lower yet, but the inventory that we have on the market right now is still record lows compared to historical norms. So we really don't have enough housing out there for people to purchase to live in. And so we are facing a shortage at this time. And I'm sure a lot of that is due to the 2008, 2009 downturn in the economy. I'm sure building slowed tremendously back in that time frame necessarily. And then COVID happened and a lot of the builds got stalled. So we weren't able to get a lot of completions on new construction in a timely fashion. So a lot of builders got kind of tripped up, permitting processes, delivery of goods. So a lot of ships got stuck in harbors, shortage of employees, workforce in general, really slowed down transportation. And so worldwide. So that did impact our ability to fulfill our housing supply in this area. I don't think it's the only factor, but it is certainly part of it.
Right.
So I think that's kind of the takeaway is that, we're a part of a normal cycle right now, normal for, where we are in with interest rates. And it looks like a normal cycle for the year so far. So, and we're in a really strong seller's market still. So we're now was near a balanced market. The only place that's even close to a balanced market would be Mason County. And they still have a good number of homes getting under contract that first week during some weeks. So there are buyers out there that are willing to compete. We see them set offer review dates and them to fly off the market within a few days. So especially the view properties and the ones on the lakes down there in waterfront.
Well,
so a lot of waterfront in Mesa County, just saying. And it's less expensive, a lot less expensive than it is here. So again, we love Mason County. Dan's laughing at me. Dan, are you sleeping over there?
No, I'm looking something up here because it's a few things.
Oh, let's invite Michelle to join. Michelle, okay, here we go. I'm inviting Michelle. So Michelle Cook is my daughter in Kingston, and she's a realtor with Windermere in Kingston, and she's I think she wants to join. So I invited her. So we'll see if she comes on. I can't just invite anybody because you never know who you're going to get, and they could get you banned. That's kind of the deal there. So if anybody wants to go live with me, you got to contact me, and then I'll talk, and I'll make sure that you're not going to do anything to blow me up.
This is a good spot to tell a quick funny story about TikTok. Can I tell the one that I was telling you about earlier in the week on TikTok?
Sure.
Okay, so earlier this week,
I gotta grab my water.
I get this TikTok notification.
Oh my God, yeah.
I on TikTok, I got a suspension. We got a video that we did a year ago that
I
got
don't know if we should talk
suspended.
about this, Dan. This is, could get us
We got
banned.
suspended. I think it was for inappropriate content. I think it was.
It was the most. It was one of our first videos.
I think it was for our first video. Yeah, and it was inappropriate content. I don't know what it was. Maybe they were upset with what's going on over at Kitsap County. I don't know.
No,
Maybe
we weren't even talking about Kitsap. Maybe Michelle left us already.
Oh,
I sent her an invitation. I guess it went a couple times. Yeah. So that one. So you did get a
I got one strike against me. Yes.
On one of our videos that we put together, and that was a year ago.
A year ago. It was hilarious.
It was the first one I think we did because I was in my flowery dress, sitting in my lawn chair, not realizing how slouched over I looked. And it was really grainy because we didn't have a good enough internet connection, and we were really going to start working out the kinks after that. But what was the topic? I feel like I was talking about how prices were starting to come down, right?
Maybe that's what offended TikTok.
Yeah, and somehow me talking about prices coming down violated something. I mean, I didn't talk about anything weird. There was no implications. There was no, nothing weird. It was literally, I was talking real estate, like real stuff, numbers and stuff. And he just got taken down. Anyway, that's a real thing, I guess.
All right. So let's
we weren't even talking about plastic cabinets or anything.
I know we hadn't even gotten to the plastic cabinet stage. Really offensive stuff. We didn't even talk about sewer scopes.
Sewer scopes. We didn't even have any potty talk going on. We've got plenty of episodes where we've had potty talk. That's been kind of the topic, and we'll talk about sewer scopes and, septic systems and, things you find in inspections that are, leaky sewage and what that does to the property.
Yes, very racy stuff that we're
very racy stuff. And sellers will call their own house the potty house and things like that.
We're towing the line. We're walking the line between acceptable. It just, but it's a crazy world. What can you say? Crack me up. Real quick. Yes. Last week when we did our live stream, I think I was talking about a sideways market in interest rates, right?
Yes.
And so I'm changing I'm shifting. If we get and I think we're going to get a weaker PCE or at least something that's acceptable, something that's expected. And I think you're going to start to see lower interest rates starting next week. So next week, we'll see if I'm right or wrong, but I think next week we're going to start to see lower interest rates. And one thing that folks ought to keep in mind is that over the course of the last 18 months, every time we've had a 1% drop in interest rates, we have had a 37% increase in mortgage applications. This is nationwide numbers, but we've had a 37% increase in mortgage applications. And if you look at our percentage of houses under contract within the first 7 days or even the first 14 days, when you do get that 1% drop, it's very clear that those numbers go up and they get stronger. Go up.
Yeah.
That's
and
right.
I just, I think my word of caution there is that I don't think we're going to see a 1% drop. If we did, then the real estate market really would go bananas. But I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think it's going to go down that far. Do you, Dan?
Yes.
Oh, so now we have two divergent opinions here. So either I might be right or Dan might be right.
I'm cheating a little
going forward.
I'm cheating a little bit on that definitive yes, Kat. I'm cheating. I'm counting from the April 25th.
No, you can't count from before, like the height.
No, I am.
No, you can't. That's an illegal move.
No, it's legal.
From today.
It all counts. No. It all counts. I'm counting from the April 25th highs. If we get a 1% drop, which would take us down to about, even if we do that, it takes us down to about 370, which is a long ways down from here, right? And if we get down in that 370, 375 area, we'll be at the lows of the year. And I do think at that point we're going to have
You think it'll be 6%?
75. We'll be just a tad above 6%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that would be amazing. I mean, that could be refinanceable for some people.
Well, at 6, it would be right around 6.25 right now. I mean, from where we're at, what I'm talking about is getting down to 6.25.
Yeah.
And
well, if that's the case, is that including what you think the Fed's going to cut rates and stuff in the fall?
Well, that would be a market rate, and I think it's going to happen in the next. These things move slow. The interest rates don't move overnight, and so
Right.
if I'm counting going back to April 25th is the peak, that's 2 months ago. So I would say over the course of maybe the next, 2 months, 3 months, something like that, we'll get down there.
Cheating.
I am cheating. I'm a cheater. I'm bad. I'm just, anything to win.
That's good. Get us banned. Dan's over here cussing online. We've got a couple more people join on that one.
but I do think it's going to be it's going to make for a very interesting fall season, because if we can get interest rates close to 6%, going into say September, that's when business normally starts picking up again. September, October, right? We start getting a little pickup.
Well,
hopefully.
If interest rates come down, that will stimulate the fall market, right?
That's right.
I mean, there's some activity there's some activity all through summer, right? July, August. Some people are still trying to get into a place in August. So you still have some activity, but you still have an influx of housing inventory coming on.
Right.
The inventory slows down a lot when you get into September, October, November. That's when the inventory that comes on the market slows down.
Right.
So,
so a combination of slowing inventory coming on the market, with probably an increase in buyers if we do get that drop in rates.
Yes.
I mean, what it really points to, I'm not trying to say buy now, but if you're just looking at the stats, just like a cold-hearted statistician, the time you want to buy is when you have more inventory coming on the market and fewer people looking to buy that inventory, right? And that's what we're seeing.
Yeah, I mean, so this is the deal. So I like talking about these real estate cycles, and I wish we had the chart to show people, and actually even the graph. But from January to approximately June or May, the real estate market it appreciates. That's when you see most of the appreciation for the year. There's not going to be much after that. Through the summer, it's just going to go like this. Go back and forth, because we have inventory creep up, but our pricing is already baked in the cake now, right? So we're already up 25% for the year. And then we may tick back a little bit in the summer, depending on how much inventory comes on the market in the summer. So, but what I'm saying is the prices are already high. By the time you get to June, the appreciation is already baked in the cake. But you have to think about what doesn't usually happen is we don't usually have coming down much in the fall. So it comes down some, but it doesn't come down back to where we started in January. So it doesn't matter really where you buy in that between summer and December phase. You're probably still going to be paying less than what you would by the time you get to next summer. So you'll have appreciation within that year, no matter how much you pay this year, more than likely, unless you get into one of those crazy bidding wars and you're just acknowledging you're buying into the market and you're not going to catch up for a year or two. Right. And that's okay too, because sometimes that perfect house is worth that.
Yeah. Well, and it's a trade-off. It really is. I mean, between you want to get a great deal, and at the same time you want to get your dream house, right? So you got both going on, both sides of the ledger there. So
yeah, well, and you guys, for the right house, it's okay. I don't mind someone overpay a tad. It gets uncomfortable for me. I have a client right now who is looking at homes in the $1 million price range and up. And what I don't want to see is us go in and do a bully offer. There's only 8% of sellers that set offer review dates that are getting bully offers. So it's a risk for us to wait to that offer review date But I also know there's not very many showings on this house. There's only 4 showings scheduled between today and tomorrow because the agent didn't know to allow overlapping showings. So I take advantage of that and I say, well, there's not a whole lot of activity. The inspection's only gone out to my client so far. So my client's thinking about it. But what I don't want to do is I really don't want to do bully offers right now because the housing market's already got the appreciation for the year. And I don't want to see her pay even more at this time of year. I don't mind it so much when pricing is still, December, January, February levels. But at this point in the market, I really don't like doing bully offers. I think I think you can blow a lot of money really fast. and the prices are already elevated.
Right.
So, I think it's safer to wait for the offer review date.
Yeah.
Honestly, and then just compete.
You're right.
But
it's interesting.
You can always run into cash. Cash, you never beat cash. It's hard to beat cash.
Well, it's interesting because we've been doing our live streams now for about a year, right? A little over a year.
Yeah, a little over a year.
And all of the real estate fundamentals that you've talked about on our live stream, we can see them in real time. They all work. It all works. It's not just
followed it over the past year. We've watched, the market cycle like we anticipated cycles. And we've watched, how much sellers get when they sell their home within the first 7 days versus, 8 to 14 days versus 15 to 30. We've derived that correlation. And I think that's an important correlation for both sellers and buyers to understand. For buyers, they can see now that sellers do not get as much money price per square foot for their home if they sell it after the first 7 days. So a buyer can, automatically assume that they may be able to get a little bit off of the price of the home. It depends what the home is and how the sellers feel. And, they may not have seen my data.
But
the facts are the facts. And
the facts are the facts. That's right.
So data doesn't lie.
That's right.
And so it works for both buyers and sellers to help them understand what's reasonable to get off the original price. So I think it's like 6 or 7% less if you sold within 14 to 30 days. For 15 to 30 days, I think it was about 6-7% less. And you can do that calculation on a $1.2 million home in King County and come up with what that costs that seller if you miss those first 2 weeks.
Right.
And so a buyer can take that same 6% and say, on average, sellers are taking 6% less if the house has been on the market 14 to 30 days. That's one way to use that data.
Well, and I've got to say, and the reason I'm mentioning this, Kat, and I'm not just trying to pump you up and all that kind of stuff, but the truth of the matter is, if you have you do a great job with these stats and this data. And we've seen firsthand that the way this data can be used to benefit your clients can be used on the buy side. It could be used on the sell side.
Yes.
It works. These are the fundamentals.
It's factual. It's just factual.
That's right.
So you can use it to show buyers that, this is how much you could anticipate getting off the listing price if the seller has missed the first 7 days or the first 14 days, or they're 31 to 90 days in.
Right.
It goes up dramatically. Then it can be like 10-12% hit to the seller.
Well,
and that's off the original price, you guys.
Right. Well, and the thing is, the thing is, I think a lot of sellers take these fundamentals for granted, right? And so you'll have somebody that sells a house in the first 7 days, and it's just like, well, that's just how it's supposed to go, but then what they don't realize is if you're not following these steps, or at least the majority of the steps, some of these steps are super duper important that you have to follow. Some of these add value, but maybe not quite as much weight attributed to them, maybe.
Right.
But if you do follow these steps, there's zero question that you're going to make more money selling your house. And if you're sloppy, and I'm sorry to be harsh when I say this stuff, but if you're sloppy and you cut corners and you don't do the right steps,
buyers are going to notice.
Buyers will notice, and you're not the shiny object. and
Yeah.
suddenly you're in the 15 to 30 day bucket, and it's too late, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just too late, and then
Okay.
there's no premiere for a 15-day-old listing, right? It all starts on day
There's no,
one.
you have one shot at getting your
One
house
shot.
sold in the first 7 days. You have one shot. You don't get a do-over. Sure, you could cancel your listing and go back on at a lower price, a week later. Sure, you can play that game, but that bites a lot of sellers in the butt. It's a risky game. You want to do it once.
Right.
You want to do it once. Hey, can we switch gears? I
Yeah.
finally finished my buyer guide, you guys. So this is my buyer guide, my personalized buyer guide for myself to give to my clients. So it's been written by me. For the most part, I've borrowed a few things from the Windermere platform, but it's really cool. It basically takes you step by step through the buying process, all the way from the initial steps. So I could just show you a little bit here. It's got my bio in it. Is anybody watching? I'm not sure. Let's see. And then it's got, it talks about buyer agency, because we still have buyer agency. Obviously, in this country, it's where the realtor owes their buyer their allegiance. So there's also something called a home buyer roadmap. And this is pretty cool. So it takes you through I believe it's 12 steps to getting a home. It starts with the buyer consultation. So I did my first formal buyer consultation as required by new state law. I mean, you don't have to do it, but it makes your life a lot easier as a realtor if you do the buyer consultation. And it went very easily with my new buyer guide. So the buyer consultation, step 1. Step 2, pre-approval. The buyer needs to talk to a lender or two and feel comfortable with the payment before you set up their home search. and they actually start looking at homes. So showings is number 4. Then you submit an offer. Then we've got negotiations, right, which I facilitate. And then page 2 of the home buyer roadmap, mutual acceptance, right? So you get under contract, and then you get your financing finalized. So you finish providing documentation to the lender if you haven't done that up front. Hopefully you've done that up front. Inspections, we start ordering inspections unless the seller has already had a seller procured inspection and a sewer scope or septic pumping and inspection.
Uh-oh, I feel a TikTok ban coming on. We're here at the 47-minute mark. They're very thorough at watching our videos. And now we just said the magic word, sewer scope.
Sewer scope. So that's that potty talk we like.
There we go.
So, number 10 is appraisal. So, we always want to make sure we get through the appraisal, make sure the appraisal comes in at value or over. If it doesn't, then we have to look at other options like renegotiating with the seller and see if you want to bring some money to closing, or if we can maybe meet somewhere in the middle, or convince the seller to sell it to us at the appraised value. So final walkthrough, that's your last opportunity to get to go through the home prior to closing to make sure there aren't any damages or not things you didn't notice, but there aren't any damages or things that are different from when you saw the home. So make sure there's no scratches in the floors and the doors, and everything operates as it did when you saw the home. So, and that includes looking under kitchen sinks, cabinets, and making sure there's no water, nothing dripping in the bathrooms. You want to look for water damage, water on the floor, standing water. A lot of times these homes have been vacated before closing, and somebody may not have gone through there within a week or two. And so that's an opportunity for us to find something that might need fixing at the last minute. So walkthrough is very important. And lastly, closing and escrow handles most of that. Obviously, I'm a team player when it comes to getting you through escrow, and you'll likely get assigned a mobile signer, a mobile notary, mobile notary to help you with sign your documents. Or a lot of times you can sign them at the title company. Mr. Fat Tuesday. Clearly there's a burglar.
Or a squirrel. Could be a squirrel.
Be a squirrel. So, and then, this goes also into my role as a buyer broker and all the things I do for my clients. And then it's a whole section on financing, things not to do, you know, and also expenses that you might be incurring during the home buying process. So it outlines that. And then the next part goes over what it looks like to submit an offer, what the different components are for an offer, things that you can negotiate, and then gives you a few details about the purchase and sale agreement. And then it talks about what on earth happens when the seller gets your offer. So they talk about whether they accept it, or I talk about whether they accept it, whether they counter, or they just reject it or don't respond. And then we have another part that addresses multiple offers and my tips on how to get your offer accepted. Mr. Fat Tuesday, you are all of that. You are everything.
Oh, all of a sudden he's quiet.
Little buddy.
He went quiet.
So this is cool because I go into details about how we can get our offer accepted in a multiple offer situation. So, and then a little bit about mutual acceptance and inspections, home inspections, seller procured inspections, as well inspections that you should have done yourself if the seller has not provided inspections, settlement and closing. Anyway, it's a really thorough guide. It's 40 something pages long. It's got, here's a page that I created, moving day, with a cute little puppy getting nugged into your new home. You see that?
Oh, what a cutie. What a cute little
So that was
puppy.
moving day. It says from leaving the old house to getting settled and nugged in at the new home. Nugged in, new word. Anyway, so this is, it truly is my guide. And then we've got a page on testimonials, people, you know, that love me. And then, and then here is my intra-year appreciation table right here.
There you go.
Dan and I talk about this. This is market cycles, typical market cycles. So I include that in my buyer guide as well as my seller guide. And then here is the table that market time costs sellers money. So right here. And so let me tell you guys here, we were talking about that 15 to 30 day bucket, right? So the seller misses the 0 to 7, the 8 to 14, they wind up in the 15 to 30 day bucket. It costs the seller 12.4%. So guys, buyers, that's what you need to know. Your realtor needs to know, what should you be offering at that point? You know,
That's
and maybe
right.
12% a little on the low side, but you know, take a look at the house. And that's
Well,
from the original list price, you guys. That's not from the current price. That's from the original list price.
And the thing you want to also keep in mind is if you are looking in that over 15 day bucket, maybe you want some seller concessions. You don't have to be,
That's right.
if you're looking for seller concessions to pay, 3% seller concessions, let's say, so that they are picking up basically all the closing costs.
Right. Or you could do a 2-1 buy down.
Or you could do a 2-1 buy down.
Seller for a 2-1 buy down, which all their contributions essentially goes in your pocket because it reduces your payment for 2 years. And so, whatever you're asking them for the buy down benefits you financially to that degree. So, but you can ask them for a 2-1 buy down. You can ask them for a reduction in purchase price. You can have an inspection if they haven't provided one, or even if they have, you can ask for one if they've been on the market for 15 to 30 days. So, if you find a house that's been on the market for a while that you like, that's the trick. So without a lot of inherent challenges, you got to be able to resell this thing, right? So that's the thing you got to keep in mind. So took a look at one the other day. Dang it was perfect for my client, perfect neighborhood, back to power lines. And I've had other clients who bought on power lines because they didn't care, and we got a good deal on it. But that power line company, PUD, came in, jacked those power lines up from like 115 kilovoltage to I don't even know what the next step up is, but they got the big towers back there now. So it was a challenge to get it sold. Whereas the smaller ones are not as hard, but you never know when the power company is gonna
do that.
Make those bigger voltage lines. So just keep that in mind when you're out there looking. But anyway, so a little page about looking forward to working with you. I'm shooting off some champagne there with actually she's a co-worker. It was for my photo shoot, but it's supposed to be a buyer or seller. Anyway. But then I have also in here the brokerage, the Washington State brokerage pamphlet, real estate brokerage. So I've got that thing in its entirety. And I also have a BBSA, commonly known as a BBSA, the Buyer Broker Services Agreement, which is brand new to the state of Washington this year. So, and that is also in here, so you guys can take a look at that. Anybody wants a copy of this, feel free to request it. Just drop me a DM, and I'm happy to send it out. But my brand new buyer's guide.
Cool.
And if anybody wants to sign up for Stats by Cat, shoot me a text, 206-465-2622. You can see my phone number in my bio, and I'm happy to, and give me your email address. So that's going to go out, by the way, tomorrow morning, and I'll have that breakdown on whether sellers should set offer review dates or not, and why they should. So
Cool.
anyway, that's all I got, Dan. What do you got?
What do I have? I got nothing left. I got nothing. I'll have a lot next week. There's more next week. This has been kind of a slow week in the mortgage.
Well, you've got some new business going on.
Well, maybe. We shall see.
You got stuff cooking.
We got a few things that are interesting that are cooking.
You've been very busy this week.
Well, sometimes you're busy on stuff that, makes money, and sometimes you're doing charity work.
Well,
we shall see.
You have to go through all the same motions, though, to figure out if it's charity work or not.
Well, that's right. I still don't know, but we'll find out soon enough. So.
Hi, Barry. Hi, Paul. Hi, Glenda. Hi, Dan.
Hello, Kat. How are you? You know what? I've got something for you.
What?
Look at that. I've been working on my heart signal.
You got a heart. Dan's sending everybody a heart.
Oh.
Everybody a heart on Facebook and YouTube. Thank you, Dan. Very nice.
Yes.
I know. I guess I can do the same. Let's see if I can do mine.
I don't know why. I just can't do it very well. But anyway.
Your fingers have to be sort of pliable,
Yes. It can't be old man hands like I've got. But anyways. On that note, I think we can call it a wrap. And
are we done?
I think we can. You know what I'm going to do? I think I'm going to have my first drink in months.
Really?
And you know why I'm going to have my first drink in months?
Why?
Because I'm going to watch the presidential debates.
Oh, gosh. There is that. I know. That's starting, isn't it? Oh, my goodness.
In about an hour. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll make it through completely sober as church mouse.
I have to decide whether I'm going to watch it or not.
Yeah, I don't know. I might just watch. Sometimes it's best just to watch the 3-minute highlight reel.
Yeah, the highlights, right?
Or 5 minutes. You don't have to spend an hour and a half of your life watching guys argue about nothing.
Yeah,
but
to watch Joe Scarborough and let him summarize it for us.
Or somebody.
Remember when him and Mika used to have Donald Trump on?
Before he was president, first time they loved him.
They loved him.
They loved him.
They used to have him on their show all the time,
yep.
And they would call him, and he would answer, or he would call in during the show. It was always a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I
don't know. Maybe he said
also
something
before Mika and Joe were married. But
it's
been a long time ago, guys. We're going back.
They were light and breezy back then.
Yeah.
Not so serious. Now the pressures of life.
It was all kind of a joke back then.
Yeah,
they showed him coming down the elevator or escalator,
That's right.
announcing his presidential bid for president. And I guess I shouldn't talk about this, should I?
Well, we'll see what happens.
Taboo on TikTok to talk about presidential stuff.
I hope they don't ban us on TikTok for all this.
Well, I just really enjoyed
controversial presidential talk.
I really enjoyed watching that. What was it? This was 2024, 2020, 2016 presidential race, the Republican side of things. The group of candidates they had running for president for the Republican side in 2016, because they had quite a cast of characters, and it was interesting. And I couldn't believe Trump would get each one of them a nickname, and it would stick. Wind up resigning. They wind up just dropping out. And I'm like, why does he keep? I wish he'd stop doing that. Like, we're losing all the good ones.
he, he would give him some stupid
Sorry, I said
nickname, and they're like, I just can't take it anymore. I gotta
I
drop
know.
out.
Poor Jeff. Oh,
Pretty
God.
darn
I really
funny.
like Jeff.
What did he call Jeb? Jeb couldn't take it anymore. Low
Jeb.
energy Jeb, I think he called them or something.
Oh,
like
I
that.
hated that. That's not fair.
Oh, poor low energy Jeb. Oh,
I know.
it was just too much for him to bear. He
know.
couldn't make it.
Poor guy.
Oh well, such is life.
Anyway, onwards and upwards to this presidential election. We'll see how this goes.
Onwards and upwards, yes. I
Onwards
think that we're saying that very loosely.
A little nervous.
It's
Don't know
good.
what to anticipate. Michelle never joined us. You know, my daughter never came on.
Well, maybe she got an important call.
Probably. Yeah, she's a very important person these days. Well, and her husband's not feeling very good, and her dog got his back end, got caught in a fence or something, tore a chunk out of him. So her dog had to go to the vet yesterday and get stitched back up. Yeah, dang it, because it didn't look like an animal bit him. It looked like he literally got it caught on barbed wire or something.
Oh, poor thing.
So, jeez.
Oh, poor thing.
Anyway, topic. So anyway, all right. So are we? I think we're done then, right, Dan?
On that note, I think we're done. Yes.
Okay, you guys have a great week. I don't know if anybody's still watching. When we go long like this, lots of times we're just kind of left by ourselves at the end. The real estate talk has kind of dropped off, and chit-chatting.
We're going to end it with Michelle's dog not making it through the fence.
Oh my God, her dog made it through the surgery. Oh my God, it's a happy ending.
Happy ending.
All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. This has been fun. I like keeping everybody up to date what's actually really going on in the real estate world locally here, not for the state, not nationally, not what the Seattle Times thinks is happening, because they don't know.
Right here, right now. Oh, that was
right now. This is just what's happening in the market right now. So that's why I do this, and that's why I put together my blog Stats by Cat, and I send that data out to all my clients along with an article or two that I've written myself regarding the real estate world. So in our area. So today I sent out a copy of the buyer's guide. Actually, tomorrow I'll be sending out a copy of my buyer's guide in an ebook, and then going over why it's still a good idea for a seller to set an offer review date. So there's a little article in there, as well as the local stats.
There we
go.
That's
it, guys.
That's it. See you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Dan. That was fun.